Shadowraths. Despite being free to use in Stick War Saga, many players still choose not to use them, and even fewer are aware of the lore behind them. Let's dive into the lore of Stick War Saga's stealthy assassins and the leader behind their existence. To explain the complicated lore, we're going to need to go back to the origins of the faction, Stick War 2. Founded by Princess Shade, the Shadowrath were an offshoot of the Swordwrath army, turning the best and most qualified Swordwrath into shinobi like an elite force, meaning that the Shadowrath aren't their own unit, but a special version of the Swordwrath. However, it's crucial to note that Princess Shade didn't initially form this faction, as it was formed during Stick War 2 when the surviving Swordwrath managed to escape their rulers, the Order Empire. However, similar to other factions, they were later taken over by an heir of King Xeric. During Stick War 2, they had a vast amount of abilities, such as the Shinobi ability, which renders the enemy unable to see you. This ability is so effective that Medusa can't even petrify you while you're in the state. Other abilities include Fixate, which causes damage to increase the longer you hit an enemy. There are much other abilities like Parry, but they are less notable due to their low effect on combat. Now that we've covered the lore, our next topic is going to be the evolution of the unit from each game. We first start in Stick War 1, where the Shadowrath is strangely absent. This may seem intentional, but it was actually a compromise on time by the developers, who failed to add them due to time restrictions. This is unfortunate, as many people probably would have loved to see them in the first entry, but a funny mistake nonetheless. Since Shadowrath are an offshoot of Swordwrath, our depiction for Stick War would just be a normal Swordwrath unit. Moving on to Stick War 2, Shadowrath looks a bit more like what we see today. It has 3 signature abilities: Parry, Shinobi, and Fixate. They are an Order Empire unit as well as Rebel Empire, since the two armies later united to face the Chaos Empire. They are honestly quite simplistic in design, as Stick War 2 was made in Flash. Nonetheless, they are an effective unit and are definitely worth using in a multiplayer game of Stick War Empires. On to our final game, we have Stick War Saga, formerly known as Stick War 3. Sadly, this is an example of the original being better than the sequel. The Shadowrath is still useful, but it has its Shinobi ability taken away. It's now more attack-oriented, using a simple staff to attack the enemy. The Shadowrath is a light unit, having increased walk speed but decreased health. Overall still pretty good, but a serious fall-off from the original. Now that we've covered the evolution, we'll be covering our third and most important topic, that's history of Shadowrath's general, Princess Shade. Princess Shade is the third of the 7 royal siblings leading the Shadowrath army. She has white skin sporting a black ninja suit with purple strips for decor. Unlike other generals, Shade has no direct appearance in any games prior to Stick War Saga. It is rumored that she will get her own campaign soon, although this may not be fully accurate. The wiki has many fun facts concerning her. Here are the list. Princess Shade appeared as the messenger in level 18. In level 27, she saved King Xeric after he got captured by Marokai. She became one of the voice announcers in Stick War Saga. Crazy J stated on Discord that Shade will have 3 abilities: Time Freeze, Shinobi, and possibly a switch between weapons. She may have an exclusive campaign to herself showing the story, as I said earlier. There will be an animation showcasing her story as well. Whether or not it will be in the campaign dedicated to her is unknown. And here we have Crazy J talking about the Shade campaign in an image that you can check out on the wiki. As I said earlier, by the time that Princess Shade had taken over the Shadowrath, they had given up the ways of assassination, as they no longer had the Shinobi ability in Stick War Saga, and instead focused on being a more dangerous combat unit like Juggernauts, shown by their fast attack animation and parry ability, although this can only be used during user control. Once Princess Shade is added to Stick War Saga, there will likely be a balance shift in the game, with Shadowrath decks possibly becoming the meta. This is because generals tend to boost the abilities of the foot soldiers that they lead, like Kaichu costing a volley of arrows, or Xiphos causing the entire Swordwrath army to increase in speed. It is unknown what Princess Shade's effect on Swordwrath combat will be, but this new addition will likely shift the meta for the worse or better. If you've made it so far, let me know if you're excited for Princess Shade's addition to Stick War Saga. Now that we've covered how adding Princess Shade to Stick War Saga would alter the game meta, we're going to move on to our fourth aspect, the duo between Princess Shade and her brother Xiphos. During the events of the campaign in Stick War Saga, we see Princess Shade in many cutscenes and game levels with her younger brother Xiphos. This duo ironically makes sense, as I said earlier, since Shadowrath are an offshoot of Swordwrath. This could be completely unintentional, but nonetheless a nice little Easter egg. It is worth noting that they face off against Mara together, the poison wizard, causing this cutscene.
I've had enough of this taking prisoner garbage. They would kill us if they had the chance.
She might know where Zarek is.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. He's held up in a tower. 3 nights northeast of Gargo's Keep. I'll go. I can hear it now. What took so long?
And he's right. Go.
As you can see here, Princess Shade, despite being older than her brother, is quite soft. Xiphos seems much more aggressive because of his status as a full-time warrior, as well as the fact that he was significantly hardened by the war, which deepened his voice and hardened his personality. You can tell this because this is Xiphos' voice towards the beginning of the war.
Get on with it, or...
Spiros? Is that you? How is this possible?
Xiphos, you've grown into a fine warrior.
What are you doing? Leading these traitors?
I can explain.
And this is Xiphos' voice towards the end of it.
My brother.
I've had enough of this taking prisoner garbage. They would kill us if they had the chance.
She might know where Zarek is.
Now, it's unknown whether these changes are due to his life experiences or just puberty, but either way, it is a pretty cool Easter egg to note inside the game. Now, on to our fifth and final topic. Overall, Shadowraths, despite not being very common to use in Stick War Saga, have a very rich lore and are honestly pretty powerful characters in and of itself. So let me know in the comments whether or not you think these are top tier characters. I'll see you in the next video, and make sure to become a member if you haven't already.